to the state championships, and they can't complain. We were told, just so everyone is informed, that that 1 point that was awarded back in that 123-pound championship when Fagan came up with the sore neck on that little bit of an injury was because he was holding on to the singlet of Jason Hawk, so a 1 point penalty was awarded. All right, up to 130 pounds, Todd Young of Haddon Township against the surprise of the championship, Armando Nardone of Belleville.
Nardone has beaten some very, very fine competitors on his way to the finals. Young has had it, again, fairly easy. He was the top seed. He comes into the finals with a 32-0 record and an outstanding 94 wins in his high school career. He, again, is the favorite to win here, but Nardone has wrestled very, very fine in the earlier bouts of the championships.
Nardone scrambling to get out of bounds.
And he does and saves a 2-point takedown against himself, but gets 1 point for going off the mat to prevent the 2.
Well, if you'll give up 1 to try and get 2, letting your wrestler up, your opponent up, and try for the takedown, I guess that's not bad strategy. Don't do it too often, though.
That was not a bad move. He would have had 2 points awarded against him on the takedown. At least now it is 1-0. It backfires when it becomes 3-0. If Young should move in and now get the takedown, as he would have had before.
Young's first match was against Steve Lilly of Union, a tough one. Or excuse me, it was against Will Fair of DePaul. That was the tough one, 4-0. Then he pinned Lilly and pinned Pat Napoli of St. Benedict's Prep to reach the championship. Meanwhile, Nardone came away with a victory over Glenn Newman. Also defeated Ken Carmichael, the number 2 seeded wrestler. Beat Carmen Catullo in the pre-quarters, and then beat Mike Van Doren in the quarterfinals. So he has knocked off a bunch of seeded wrestlers. He trails 3-0 with 40 seconds to go in the first period.
Very fine job of coming behind by Todd Young. The added height that he has, somewhat added experience, picking his opponent up, bringing him down to the mat gently, but with very fine control to take the 3-0 lead.
Off the mat they go. The number 1 seed, Todd Young, career mark 94-9-1. There have been some impressive career marks. 4-time district champion, 2 consecutive Region 7 championships, a 3rd place finisher here last year at this weight class.
Nardone attempting to free the leg to come out in front. Young not letting it go.
And the first period comes to an end. And Todd Young from Haddon Township with the advantage, 3-0 over Armando Nardone of Belleville. And there was a time not too long ago when a wrestler like Nardone would be nowhere to be seen out on the mat. He might have been in the crowd, but he finished 3rd in the districts, the only wrestler who had a 3rd place finish in the districts to advance this far. And then to top that off, he finished 3rd in the region. So he just advanced on both occasions, but here he is in the final.
And again, scoring 2 points. He's had the ability to put together a very, very fine tournament. Maybe he wasn't able to in the districts or regions. Maybe there was an injury. Maybe there's a problem in making weight. The matter is that right now he's wrestling as well as he's ever wrestled.
And we get an injury time taken. Dan Mahoney signaling for it for Armando Nardone. And Nardone has taken a knee pad off his left knee. Coach Nisavacha checking it out. And they will call Dr. Freddie Beekle from the sideline to check it out. Freddie, the championship physician.
New Jersey state champion, 136 pounds. Seton Hall. We won't mention what year that was. It was not within the last 2 or 3 years, but he is down here every year, sometimes alternating with Dr. Alan Spidell and really performs a tremendous service for all of the athletes, not just because he's a good doctor, but because he's experienced the injuries that they experience, outstanding collegiate wrestler and AAU wrestler, and so we are really very, very lucky each year to have his services at the States.
Dr. Beekle was reminiscing about some of his earlier work as a TV commentator at TV3. Said he enjoyed working with former TV3 sports director Bruce Beck.
We're a little worried. He is sitting near our table, and if he doesn't have people to go to on the mat, we're a little afraid that he might try and take the microphone from us and revert back to his old career as an announcer.
Freddie said he remembers that Bruce would set the stage and then he would take over and provide the commentary. I said things haven't changed, just the names have.
It's Nardone tying Young up. Young leaning back into his opponent, though. Nardone has to be careful of his own shoulders as Young gets the reversal.
And he leads 5-2, and we have 1 minute left to wrestle in the second period.
Young, a tremendous advantage of length on Nardone. Able to think about the cradle so much more easily than a Nardone could.
We've mentioned Nardone's third place finish in the district. We should mention that in 1986 he was a district champ for Belleville. So there is quality in Armando Nardone, and Jerry mentioned there could be a number of reasons as to why he struggled just a little bit in the districts and the regions. But at this point, he's happy to be where he's at, wrestling for the 130-pound championship.
We do sometimes forget, because we comment so often on just the champion who walks off the mat, how hard it is to get where Armando Nardone now is. Second in the state of New Jersey. The 6 matches or 5 matches that he's wrestled since Wednesday. The other 30 individuals or 28 individuals that he's wrestled during the course of the year. The young man comes in with 35 matches behind him. This is his 36th of the year.
Nardone has been cautioned for stalling. 5 seconds left in the second period. And the second period will come to an end with a 5-2 advantage for Todd Young.
I think we're looking at 2 wrestlers right now, Matt. One who came in expecting to be a state champion, and that's Todd Young of Haddon Township. We're looking at another youngster who hoped to do well, who all of a sudden finds himself in the finals. The conditioning's beginning to tell. The emotion of where both wrestlers are at this particular point. Young becoming stronger, Nardone becoming a little bit weaker as the competition progresses here in this championship bout.
Potentially dangerous is the call from Dan Mahoney, and so we will begin again. 1:53 left in this 130-pound championship bout.
Nardone hanging on top, not breaking his opponent down, allowing Young to stay up on his knees. When he allows him to stay in that position, it's Young who's going to have the advantage in making the moves. Nardone hooking left leg in first, trying to get the right one in, trying to stretch his opponent out. Stalemate called.
Things slowing down just a little bit here in the 130-pound championship.
Young unable to explode from the bottom. Nardone able to fall to the hip, keeping control.
He's going to have to get some back points, though, Jerry. He trails 5-2. He's in danger of falling behind 6-2, and maybe more. He gets his 2, and Young now leads 7-2.
Again, I think the picture shows it all. Young back in the center quickly. Nardone slow coming up, slow walking back to the center. The emotion of the tournament from Wednesday to now beginning to take its toll.
Half-minute left to wrestle.
Young gave a thought to the cradle, also realized that he was ahead by a 7-2 score. Was not about ready to take a chance with the cradle, maybe have his own head caught, be pushed to his back, content to stay behind and control his opponent and win his championship.
Nardone awfully slow getting set. It's so difficult to come from an underdog position time and time again. And as you have commented throughout this match, perhaps the emotion of this moment is now just beginning to show. Nardone realized he had another tough match ahead and just couldn't pull it off.
He looks overwhelmed now. There's also that little thought that's going through his mind even before he took the mat. I'm a junior, he's a senior. I can come back. If it doesn't happen this year, it might happen for me next year.
It'll happen this year for Todd Young, as the Haddon Township wrestler will win the 130-pound championship by decision 7-2 over Armando Nardone. We are going to take a short break. We'll come back with more fine wrestling from Jadwin. Stay with us.
Here we are with Todd Young of Haddon Township, the state champion. Todd, you were third here last year. You came back and won the championship. How did you do it? What made the difference?
My coach, Mr. Preston, made a difference. He kept my mind into it, told me I could do it. I started listening to him and believing it, and that's what did it for me.
So you didn't think you could be the state champ until the coach convinced you?
Yeah. After last year, I wasn't really sure, and then he really got my mind into it, figured I could do it.
Well, that's great. How old were you when you started wrestling, and have you done a lot of wrestling over the summer?
I was in 8th grade. I wrestled some, but not a lot over the summer, so I didn't want to get burnt out. Just wrestled during the season, kept my mind into it.
And let me ask you this question. You went into the finals against Armando Nardone of Belleville High School. Were you getting ready for him? Did you think he'd be the man you met in the finals?
No, I thought it would either be second seed Carmichael or third seed Van Doren. He took third in districts and third in regions, and he really came on strong. I'm just glad I won.
Okay, congratulations again. Good luck to you. And everybody's very, very proud of you back in Haddon Township.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you, Matt and Jerry.